The UN nuclear watchdog plans to reveal intelligence next week suggesting Iran made computer models of a nuclear warhead. That's according to the Associated Press news agency. The report by the International Atomic Energy Agency will also support allegations that Tehran's built a nuclear testing facility, and it's set to show, they say, satellite images to prove it. Let's get some expert analysis on this then. Talk to Patrick Henningsen. He's editor of the Infowars.com website. Patrick, very good evening to you. Thanks for being on the programme. OK, down to basics. What are the implications of these claims? If they come out, what are they going to be?
Well, the report that's due to come out next week by the International Atomic Energy Agency is basically saying that Iran has reached a stage in its research where this is the precursor to an A-bomb, to an atomic bomb. And what they've done is they've done research into deuteride, nuclear physics, and also neutron physics, okay? And this is meant to be some sort of implicating crime that is going to allow the West to place sanctions on Iran or to have weapons inspectors go in, etc. But this is research that's being done all over the world in a lot of different countries, universities. So if Iran is guilty of doing this level of research, then they'll have to put sanctions on about 100 countries.
Well, all this, of course, as things are ratcheting up in Israel. On Friday, the Israeli president said that when it comes to Iran, that the international community is closer to finding a military solution than a diplomatic one. So does that mean that military action is now a real possibility?
Well, I think this week we've seen the UK come out openly in public to say that there are plans for an attack on Iran. Israel has done missile tests as well on a interballistic missile that has nuclear warhead capabilities. And the U.S.'s policy is well known. The hawks in Washington, led by Hillary Clinton and the State Department and the neoconservatives, have wanted to have a preemptive strike on Iran for way back as early as 2004. So this is not new news.
Interesting line as well. Only today, in fact, a senior US military official saying that the US is worried that Israel might go it alone, indeed, and attack Iran without warning. I mean, it begs the question, has Tel Aviv really become such a proverbial loose cannon?
Well, the leak that allegedly came out of either Shin Bet or Mossad, that there were already operational plans to have a preemptive strike against Iran from Israel, that was leaked out. Benjamin Netanyahu was absolutely flabbergasted, and the Likud hardline were really upset about this leak. But thank God, and I tip my hat to these people in Israel who did leak this information, because it's absolute madness. If you look at the geopolitical situation right now in the region, an attack on Iran is going to basically put gasoline on a fire that has already reached incredible temperatures. So it's not something that we can afford.
Patrick, what kind of reaction are we likely to see from Iran later this week then, when if it does come out?
Funny enough, Iran is due to release a report on Monday that has documented detailed evidence of the U.S.'s involvement in funding and arming terrorist groups to doing hit terrorist attacks in Iran, the Jundullah, etc., and also incursions over Afghanistan border. So Iran is due to come out. So what we're seeing here is a war of propaganda. One side is from the U.S., UK, Israel bloc with their propaganda on Iran nuclear weapons, and the other side is Iran's counter-propaganda to show that the U.S. is actively involved in funding and operating terrorist groups in the region. So it's the timing of the situation is incredible. But you got to look at the U.S.'s policy on nuclear right now. Obama approved a $200 billion bill to upgrade the U.S. nuclear arsenal. And where is the Atomic Energy Agency there? Where are they with Israel's inspections? Israel has not even declared its nuclear arsenal yet. So there's a bit of a double standard going on here, and I don't think it's worth starting World War III over. Well, and I think we need to look at that.
Reiterating again, you know, Iran has always said, hasn't it, that it's claimed its nuclear program is solely for peaceful purposes. I was granted an interview with the president myself just a couple of months ago. He told RT, this channel, that again, looked me in the face and said it's got no plans for any nuclear weapons. Nonetheless, the US and its allies, as you're saying, I was trying to prove that there's much more than that. So that's the underlying reason for the timing of the tensions right now, then, you think, because of what's happening in America and this nuclear plan there, yeah?
Well, I mean, I really think that maybe the U.S. State Department or these diplomats have the memory of a goldfish. They've just done a lap around the bowl. In 2009, Russia offered to take exported enriched uranium from Iran, to take it and to look after it They also invited weapons inspectors in, UN weapons inspectors, into Tehran to look at these facilities. We've already been around this whole thing again. I think what they're doing is trying to, there's an issue of timing coming up. The West wants to strike Iran, but it wants to do it at a time of its choosing. And all they're doing is just revising this whole nuclear threat issue. Why Iran has no interest in attacking the West with a nuclear weapon. You know, it's absolute suicide. The U.S. has enough nuclear arms to destroy the whole of Central Asia about 1,000 times over. So let's get to reality now, and I think this is a big problem with the geopolitical debate right now. It's very divorced from reality. We need to get back to reality. We'll see how it all plans out next week, of course, how this all plays out. Patrick Henningsen, Associate Editor for the website Infowars.com. Thank you.